FX Morning Mayhem podcast is an essential listen for currency traders. Each episode covers a curated watch list of key currency pairs alongside insightful market observations. It highlights crucial daily news events that could influence the market, ensuring traders are well informed. Additionally, the podcast offers valuable trading strategy tips, catering to both new and experienced traders in the Forex market. This podcast is for educational purposes only. None of this info should be construed as investment advice. To see the trades called out live for free on our Slack channel, click the link in the description or scan the QR code to join the trade faction. If you find this podcast valuable, please follow and share with a friend. And now, on with the show.
Okay, let's start with the charts. This is the Euro Canadian dollar. It is in the inception zone, yay. So I have a alert set for a sweet spot to form down here. When that happens, you will get it in Slack. Hopefully I haven't run out of zaps for the month. I'm getting real close because I screwed up and set the alert wrong the other day. So it chewed up a whole bunch of them. Anyway, so that's what's going on with that. Pound Canadian dollar. We are way overbought here. We're hyperextended. It's in an uptrend and everything's pointing to a long, but nothing to do here right now until it pulls back into a more acceptable zone. New Zealand US dollar, I just bailed on this. Was that this one? Yeah, I think that was this one. I just bailed on this with a few ticks right before the news. I am gambling big here, and I'll show you in a second. But like I'll show you in a second. I was in EuroCAD, which I got out of last night for a few pips. And then New Zealand US dollar, I got out of that for a few pips profit this morning. So I just wanted to close out the positions that were slightly profitable, but chewing up some of my capital. So those two worked out okay. Here's where I'm betting big. So I've doubled down on these guys, the two chiefy ending ones. So Singapore dollar chief, and I'm here, and I'll give you the reasoning why in a second. I'm going to switch to a different screen, but I want to get through this. Right now, this is in an uptrend, and it's in the inception zone, and it's in a long wave phase, so I should be looking for longs, but I'll explain to you in a moment why I'm not. All right, and then here's the US Canadian dollar. This is overbought. It's in an uptrend with a long wave phase. Nothing to do here. US Chief, the same situation as the other one. I'm going to switch to this screen so we can see them both at the same time. So what I did was when the news came, I was watching it because what happened last night was it dipped down here. If you remember, I had 3 positions on both of these. So on the first position got profitably taken last week, maybe. I can't remember exactly when. And then last night, when the interest rate information came out, the second position got taken out on each one of these, right? So then I watched it on the employment numbers, the U.S. numbers, because I thought if the U.S. numbers were bad, because this was a U.S. heavy instrument, it would cave on that, but it didn't. But it didn't go way up either. So here is a sweet spot from before, and it hasn't blown through that sweet spot. It's just hanging there. So I'm taking a educated bet here that it's going to drop from here pretty significantly. It just has to chew up all the orders at this level first before it will do that. And it keeps like poking up, but it never is able to break through. So that's just imprinted in my brain when I see that behavior, that means something's up, something's coming. Okay.
Yeah,
That's my logic, and I'm sticking to it. If it starts to blow through here, then this is going to end up being a big hickey for me, and I will probably get out. But right now, it's looking okay, if that
okay.
makes sense.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
I'm in the Singapore dollar chief trade.
So you're still in it?
I thought I understood what was going on, but evidently I don't.
Yeah,
But
I get that feeling all the time. Here's my
it's like,
break-even point, by the way.
yeah, I'm in the trade, but I'm going, I know they're going to drop interest rates. And if they drop the interest rate, that's good. So the number should have gone down. It should have
Right.
short, but
Yeah,
it didn't. It went long.
you can't predict news. It makes me nuts. I totally get you. Just
Well,
like,
no, I knew it was going to be good news, but
it's
it's on the
illogical.
second pair.
I agree. I was
I,
using the same mindset here. I was like, they're going to print a shitty employment number and that's going to go down. And it didn't.
it shot right up. It's like
Yeah,
50 points.
I know. So,
I'm just that one I didn't understand. If you have good news coming out, and I know we don't trade the news, but the only reason I was going to just close it out, and I was actually ahead because I waterfalled it just like you. So I got out of my positions, except the last one. I'm like, I know they're going to drop it. It's going to drop down, and I'll just take the profit and run. And all of a sudden,
yeah,
it went up the other way.
I think the way to look at that or to think about that is divorce the logic from the news. The news is the excuse they use to move price. So it's not going to be logical, if that makes any sense. You almost have to try to read the tea leaves as, okay, what are they trying to do? So my logic here is they've been pushing it up really hard to here because they want everybody buying in here, right?
Mhm.
Thinking it's going to go to the moon. And I'm trying to think like the bankers and the traders. And I'm
Mhm.
like, they're loading up their shorts. They're loading
Mhm.
those things up, right? They're just draining the pond up here. Remember the order pools we were talking about way
Yeah.
back when, right? They're just loading up the pool with water for all the chumps to buy, right? And then as soon as the pool's drained, boom, this fucker's going to go down. That's what I think. I may be completely wrong, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Well,
And
we'll see. I'm still in it, like I said, but
and that's
I'm
just
just not
based
looking
on,
forward to New York coming online.
yeah, that's just based on experience. That's just gut. There's no facts or data behind that. That's pure gut. Anyway, on to the
Mhm.
market insight section
All right.
of the podcast. So, yeah, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
And this actually happened this morning. Have you ever noticed that the value of your account changes even though prices aren't changing?
Okay. I looked at it that close.
I was watching all these positions this morning and I'm like, watching my value of my account go up, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And they were literally like not moving at all because they're waiting for the news to happen. And so I went to my trusty Perplexity site. I don't know if you use that or not, but I really like it. It's like a an aggregation of all the AI
Hmm.
and built into kind of like a Google search engine. Um,
Okay.
so I asked the question, I said, why does sometimes the value of a currency change even though the price hasn't moved? And here's what it said. It says sometimes it's just the bid ask spread. These things move around in anticipation of news or something like that. The other thing is market depth and liquidity. Depending on how liquid or illiquid currency pairs are, the value could move around quite a bit. I've noticed that with if you trade like really weird pairs,
Yeah.
there's just not a lot of people trading them. So you get like really weird spreads on those things, and the values could like really fluctuate a lot. The other thing is time of day, and I you see this every day after four, right? And when it kicks back on at 4:15, the spread will go from one. Right now, the spread's 1.9 and 1.7 on these two instruments. I've seen that spread go to 37, and then all of
Oh
a
yeah.
sudden you're upside down by 90 pips.
Oh yeah. That
So
100%. Yeah.
and then the last thing it said that causes the change in value is economic events and news, which we all know about. And that's what was going on this morning. So I thought that was interesting to talk about today.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That's all I got for today. So hopefully,
Well, I hope you're right.
wish me luck, and we'll see what happens.